From fans first criticizing the casting decisions to soon becoming fan favorites worldwide, The Last of Us clearly knew what it was doing when it cast its actors for Joel and Ellie.
Do I look like I'm infected?
Show us your arm.
And now that the first season is over, everyone's wondering if Bella Ramsey will return to play Ellie. Guess what? I've got answers. It turns out, yes. And isn't that wonderful news? From the very first episode and our very first glimpse of her, Bella proved that she would be the perfect Ellie. Not just a copy of the young girl we loved from the game, but something so much more real. So why shouldn't she return for the second season? Thankfully, the actress confirmed this from her end as well. She took to Twitter to post that she'd be taking the ride once again with her bestie and co-star Pedro Pascal.
Or until they get it from smugglers. Guess not you guys.
This sounds perfect if you ask me, because Bella Ramsey is currently 19 years old, the same age as Ellie was in the second game.
I don't want to hear what that bigot has to say.
Do it for me, please.
Fine.
You see, everything's falling into place. Why would anyone want to replace her? Are they worried that they wouldn't be able to get the feeling that 5 years had passed? In that case, I have just one thing to say. What do y'all think the makeup department is for? And don't you think the directors have actually considered this matter as well? Both Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin have also made Bella's return official, and they took the time to explain that they know more than you. And duh, they do. The creators have met with everyone involved in making the show. They've had lengthy discussions to guarantee that the time jump is seamless and, more importantly, believable. They already know how the hair and make and costume will change, plus they know Bella. They know she can do it. And after such a fantastic take on the game, don't you think it's time to trust the directors and their direction? Whether fans agree or not, they don't care anyways. Druckmann clarified that the only way Bella would be recast as if she stated out loud that she no longer wanted to work with them, and even then they may not let her go. Like it or not, and seriously, it's better if you're on board, Bella is Ellie, period.
So, is it everything you hoped for?
It's got its ups and downs. You can't deny that view.
Of course, that won't stop fans from complaining. They have a myriad of issues with this announcement. First, they complain that she didn't look like Ellie. Honestly, how is that even fair? Ellie isn't real. She was animated. She doesn't actually exist. How can creators have looked for a girl who looks just like someone who doesn't really exist? Sadly, poor Bella had to listen to these fanboys lose their minds over how she looked. When she proved them wrong and brought the character to life, they came up with new reasons to recast her. Now, some are claiming that Bella isn't old enough to play Ellie. Wow. I told you Bella is 19, remember? In fact, by the time filming starts for the second season, she'll be older. So, can we push aside this absurd issue?
Okay. This is your fault then.
Are you really going to blame Bella for her youthful skin? If there's anyone fans should blame for their unrealistic expectations of what a 19-year-old should look like, it's Hollywood. They've cast older actors as teens for ages and have warped our understanding of what teens really look like. And those who think she can't bring the violence of season 2 to screens, have we even watched the same show? By the end of the season, the actress proved that she can do it all, and one of those things is killing people. And once again, Hollywood has a lot of tricks, you guys. They have stuntmen to bring more extreme moments to life, and if that isn't enough, Bella will probably train. Unless fans have been living under some rocks, there's no reason to worry about this complaint. The directors will ensure that Bella is trained to convincingly show how much she's changed after all the time passes.
You're flinching.
The target's too small.
I made it bigger than I should have. Eject the cartridge.
And I'm not flinching.
And come on, guys, give Bella some credit. She knows how the story goes as well. You know, she's the one getting the scripts and discussing the show with the writers, so all you need to do is wait for the second season and leave all of the prep to those who actually know what they're doing. And leave Bella alone. She's already had it tougher than it has to be. You see, Bella is very aware of what fans think about her casting. And with social media, it's almost impossible to ignore fans who state their opinions as facts, and young Ramsey had a tough time dealing with the uproar, even though some part of her was prepared for it. The game is famous, so when you're cast in the lead role, fans will say something. Whether it's negative or positive is something you need to wait for. In Bella's case, some fans weren't thrilled. This was new for her because it was the first time she was receiving negative feedback, and she'd be okay with it, for a while that is. After 10 minutes of scrolling, she'd reevaluate her decision to begin scrolling in the first place, and this couldn't have been easy, as she too was having a hard time accepting herself as Ellie. One moment she's happy with her performance, but some time passes and she's super critical of her work once again. But hey, that's just human nature. What matters is that the majority of the viewers in the world can see that she's great.
Nice and slow.
You gonna shoot this thing or get it pregnant? It isn't gonna work, it doesn't aim right.
Fans who have moved past the superficial aspects of their beloved characters can see what's important, and that's that Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey are Joel and Ellie in essence. That when it matters, they make you feel just like the game did. Yes, Sarah's blonde in the game, but Nico Parker steals the show in the first episode.
We can't leave him.
He'll be fine. Can you run? No. You keep your eyes on me, okay? You don't look anywhere else.
She's a young girl who's like every other daughter except cooler, and when the time comes and she, spoiler alert, gets hurt, she makes you want to jump through the screen and save her. And Pedro Pascal just shines as her dad.
Come on.
Sure, we only see them as father and daughter in that one episode, but by its end, you're sold. There's no doubt that the people on the screen are Joel and Sarah. Even the side characters are perfect. Whether it's Gabriel Luna playing Tommy or Anna Torv as the magnificent Tess, each actor understands their character on a personal level. That's why they make you believe that they're who they say they are. From Nick Offerman's take on Bill in what is now an iconic episode to Storm Reed's amazing Riley, The Last of Us proved that game adaptations can be wonderful if done correctly. So maybe it's time for us all to trust everyone with the second season as well. From the get-go, everyone involved knew that fans would have a lot of opinions about what the right way to do the show is. If they stick exactly to the game, they risk becoming boring. If they stray too far from it, they risk being hated. And despite how tough this project may have been, somehow Druckmann and Mazin have handled everything gracefully. So when they were shooting the final episode, Ali Abbasi wanted to end the show a bit differently, but at the final moment decided that the ending had to be as it was in the game, and fans loved that. The final conversation between Joel and Ellie had to play out the way it did in the show. It leaves everything up to your imagination. That is, until the next season comes out. And that's all I know about Bella Ramsey's return for the second season.